I want to open up and say we're really excited about adding Ty Felton from Maryland, wide receiver, to our already very talented room. Really excited that we were able to still get him in the third round, and then also move up in 5 and with the first and fourth pick in that round. So got our guy, and he's a talented playmaker, productive. That's also can really run fast, jump off the charts in the testing and things like that. So the plays that he's made, this year, 96 catches, 1,000 yards, it's all-time receptions record at Maryland, where they've had a few guys, they've been pretty darn good at Maryland. So everybody was really excited about him, coaches, scouts, KO, really everyone, special teams coaches. There's a lot that this player can do, and he has the mindset to come in and be willing to do whatever it takes really to get on the field, just like he did at Maryland, to earn a spot.
Ben, then Andrew, then Kevin.
Yeah, Ryan, you mentioned the testing. How much did the speed that he showed at the combine stick out to you guys? How much did that influence your impression of him in the process of evaluating him?
Well, there's play speed and there's time speed, but we all sat in those rooms and you could feel this player's speed on film, and he's also 6'1". 4'3" is going to jump out to most people whenever you see that time, and then when you see it also present itself on the field of play, that's another box checked. He was a 40-inch vertical guy as well. That it all showed up on the tape, and then also something that I thought was unique about him was he's also good with the ball in his hand. He's just not a vertical speed guy. He could run routes. I think having Keenan coach him up and refine his game, he's going to be able to do a lot of things for us in this offense. He really is a ball of potential in a lot of different ways, but like I said, he kind of earned his stripes at Maryland, through special teams, doing some dirty work, playing gunner, running down on kickoffs. He's twitchy, but again, the 4-3 is something that's going to catch your eye, and the first thing a scout always does is see if you see that on tape, and we all saw that when we sat and watched him.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm curious, does he have special team value for you guys coming in? And then just off of his big year last year at Maryland, what stood out to you about how he handled that extra workload and all the receptions he was getting?
He really was the same guy on every tape, and then watching him together as a group, the picture starts becoming more clear, because it's exciting when at all the different touch points, the special teams coaches are really fired up. Like the special team stuff, he did have a higher workload this year, so of course he didn't do as much on teams, on the coverage units and things like that. But, another kind of positive is that he has returned, kicks before. He has, he's fair caught punts. He can do it. He can field the ball. He did really well at his pro day fielding punts. So we feel like there's, more juice to squeeze on special teams than even really in college. And we feel like this is the type of player that's going to work to find a role for himself, because he brings a lot to the table, and the toughness factor for a guy that can really run, that's already 6'1". It's great to be able to get this player at this spot because of all the different possibilities he can do, whether it's on special teams or as a receiver for us. And again, the toughness after the catch, he's not a guy that goes down easy. I mean, he really strains, and he breaks off chunks of would-be tacklers. For a lot of guys similar to him, a lot of times will go down and that'll be it. And he just doesn't really ever want to let a play die. So his mindset really is presented in all different facets of his game, which is really encouraging in the player.
Yeah, Ryan, just with your background with O-line, I was curious what you liked about Donovan Jackson and what you saw from him last season.
Well, as a lineman and being in the Big Ten, being available is huge, and we know that in the NFL. Starting 40 games for them, at a moment's notice for a national championship caliber team, to kick out to left tackle at a moment's notice and play. It wasn't too big for him. His feet really showed up. His length showed up. And then really, he's kind of really ideal for the guard spot just because at 6'3" and 5'8", he's already plays in such a leveraged position naturally. He's such a great knee bender. And again, the feet show up. But we felt like he was one of the stickier, more powerful guys on contact in the run game of the guys in the draft at guard. And you felt that in the Big Ten. And there were some big interior D linemen that he would go up against and just was able to sustain and play through his hips and stay connected. So, KO and Coop and, Wes, they like guys that can stay connected, but you also have to move people off the ball. And we feel like he's that type of guy that can play through his hips and generate movement, but also stay connected, get up on linebackers, and be sticky because he is a really good foot athlete and he plays with anticipation, awareness, and instinct. So, again, we felt like, these were guys we were talking about leading up to the draft, and we feel like we got two of them that were in that bucket that we really wanted.
Ryan, you guys upgraded some draft positioning tomorrow to just kind of where do you guys feel like you're at with where your board kind of fell to this point and what you have at your disposal heading into tomorrow?
Well, again, we never know who's going to be there, but I feel like Kwesi really positioned us well with Rob and all the work they put in, working through trades, to just put us in a better position for the cluster of players that are still available. And it's, myself, my first year picking players, we were at the top of the draft, and it's always it just seems like it's always better at the top of each round. And we have tomorrow and tonight to kind of really nail down who we want, or if we want to trade out, or there's always the possibilities if a guy in that first and fourth pick in 5 he maybe comes off, we could always trade back. I mean, there's a lot of versatility when you have really smart people in the room, like Kwesi and Rob and the people that we have in there in that department. So it's a comforting feeling because we can really maneuver the board and try to get players that have a chance, that have a chance. We feel like through free agency, it put us in a unique position this year to get players that can make the team, find a role, and contribute early. So we feel like with these two players we took yesterday and today that they have a chance to do that.